If you're wanting to stream to Facebook Live and you're using OBS, what are some of the settings that you're going to want to do? Maybe you've tried to do Streamlabs OBS and just found yourself kind of underwhelmed or maybe overwhelmed by some of the features. Well, today we're going to demystify some of the process and find out exactly why I really prefer OBS Facebook Live settings going into 2020 this way. So make sure you stay tuned. Hey, I'm Dale, and this is Live Streaming Tech. If you want to learn more about live streaming online, places like Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, and beyond, make sure you subscribe. Turn that bell notifications on so that way you don't miss a single one of these videos. Okay, I'm going to just say first and foremost, I'm just not a big fan of Streamlabs OBS when it comes to live streaming. I used it for a hot minute there, and sometimes they were just changing things all the time, and it was just messing up some of my live broadcasts. Just minutes before I'd go on, I would have like an update, I'd have to wait on it. So I just went back to OBS Studio. Now, it does require a little bit more work, but it is so worth it. So actually I had consulted my brother, who's actually really the tech head between the two of us here. So he's actually gonna walk you through the same things that he did with me. You're gonna find out your OBS Facebook Live settings and some of the things that you're gonna wanna be doing going into 2020. So take it away, Walt.
Okay, so here we are. We have OBS Studio opened up here. This is version 2.4.0.3. It's the 64-bit version for Windows. And we're going to go over how to do your settings for Facebook Live streaming here. So real quick, I would like to point out, if you're here and you're wanting to know the settings for Slobs or Streamlabs OBS, click that card that is right above us, right above my head or right at the top of the screen, and that will take you over to that video. But pretty much the settings are going to be the same over here as well. There's just a couple little different steps you have to do. So the first thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to change this. Obviously, Dale was streaming on Twitch last, and you would want to change that service to Facebook Live, and then you're going to go ahead and leave it to default, and then you would put in your stream key. So then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna click on this video here real quick. All right, so there is confusions out there. All right, so I'm gonna make it as easy as possible. Base canvas resolution is what you see as the streamer. This is your screen, this is your monitor, this is what you're capturing. Okay, the output scaled resolution is what the viewer sees. So as we see here, Dale streamed on Twitch last, and we were just discussing that before I hit record, which was weird because he used to go 1080p at 30 frames per second, and then his output would be at 1080p, you know, for 30 frames. So that's what the viewer would see. He's found that, you know what, it's not that big of a difference when he goes to the 720, and a lot of his viewers actually enjoy that because they do watch him on mobile devices. And you gotta remember, what you put up needs to come down, and if they have a crappy Wi-Fi or a crappy device, they're going to be buffering constantly, and it's not going to be a fun stream for them. Okay, now we're going to go to the output. All right, let's go over some real quick here. Here's another one. This is a big argument, and you can go ahead and leave your comments below, be nice about it. But the encoder, there's two things you need to know about the encoder. X264, that is your CPU. So for instance, if you have an i7 or an i9, guess what? Leave it at 264. You got plenty of horsepower. If you have a high-end Ryzen, AMD, leave it. I'm telling you, I have one of the old AMD 8-core special black editions. I run it at 264. I have no issues with whatsoever. Now, here's the other thing too. If you have a bomber of a graphics card, then obviously you're going to want to go with the NVENC or the NVENC. All right. Now the difference between the two, you'll say, well, Walt, wait a minute. There's two of them here. One's for new. Just go with the new one. The new one works with the RTX as well as the GTX NVIDIA graphics cards. It's just one is a little bit more optimized for the newer cards that are out there. So this is the thing. This is the drawback. This is where everyone argues. And this is gonna be different depending on what you are streaming with. If you're using an old PC or an old laptop, do not put it on NV Ink, all right? Because most likely you have an onboard graphics card or you have a really old graphics card. It is not gonna be able to handle that encoding, I'm telling you right now. So leave it at X264, let the CPU do the work. Here's the thing, look, my brother-in-law, he streamed for years with an i5 using an X264 and had no issues, all right? So here's the other thing too. All games are, if you're a game streamer, all games are not created equal. The game graphics optimization for certain games might not be as optimized as others. For instance, if you're streaming Fortnite, those graphics are optimized, okay? Go for it. Toss that on your graphics card, let it chew it up and eat it for breakfast as far as the encoding goes. However, you got some beta games out there, or maybe even some alpha games that just do not have that graphic optimization yet. Let the CPU handle it, because your graphics card is going to have enough work ahead of itself to just actually run the game. So leave that one alone as well. Play around with it. Once again, it's kind of like a shoe, not one size fits all. I'm going to tell you what does. One size fits all. Keep it at constant bit rate intervals, okay? That constant bit rate, that rate control, CBR, leave it at that. Now, here's your bit rate. The problem with Facebook Live, okay, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about Facebook Live. It doesn't matter whether you're leveled up, you're a game streamer, or whether you're just a regular streamer on Facebook, your cap is at 4,000 kbps, kilobits per second, or 4 megabits upload. So the thing is until Facebook optimizes or gives us a little bit more headroom on there, we're stuck with it. Now the problem is a lot of people are going to find out that are game streamers and that have leveled up. And by the way, it's easy to level up. 100 followers, stream like twice within the past 14 days for at least 2 hours. I'm telling you, it's really easy to level up. They unlock that 1080p at 30 frames per second. The problem is I'm going to recommend, especially if you're at that 1080p, 30 frames, or even the 60 frames per second, you're going to need at least 6,000 going up to have a decent looking stream, okay? And this goes pretty much with any, well, I guess, if you're playing some static games, you can probably get away with it. But that headroom, you really need that headroom. Now, 4,000 is plenty. But it's plenty for doing 720p at 30 frames per second. You're going to find that that's optimal for Facebook Live. Matter of fact, even if you're playing some static games, such as like Magic the Gathering or that kind of stuff, or just doing a regular IRL stream, you can get away with going as low as 2,000 kilobits per second while streaming on Facebook Live. Keyframe interval. It's kind of like Streamlabs OBS. Once again, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, wait a minute, Walt, it says 2 and you have it set to 0. 0 is auto, okay? You can get away with auto, but if you want to feel comfortable, you can just take that 0 out and you can put that 2 in its place and then apply it. CPU usage. Once again, another, especially for new streamers, this is where they get a lot confusion here. Now, the CPU usage, so say you do choose to go with the X264. Here's the thing, very fast should be, or faster should be optimal. Anything beyond that, you're not gonna see, it's gonna eat up a ton of your resources. You're not gonna see that great of improvement. You're just kind of wasting your time. You're spinning your wheels. Now, later on, probably 6 months down the road, maybe a year down the road, maybe then, but right now, you're not gonna see that big of a difference. I've played around with it. As a matter of fact, I might just make a video to show you that there's not much big of a difference, although there is a big difference in the resources it uses. Now, for those of you who have, say, older computers or older laptops that you're trying to stream with or whatever, you can go with that ultra fast or super fast, because here's the thing, the faster it is, the less usage it has. So notice right here, CPU usage preset, higher equals yes, CPU. So if you wanna go with, say, that ultra fast or super fast, try it out. Take baby steps. Do one step at a time and before you stream, and you'll see that that'll be fine. There's another thing we should probably go over. A lot of people probably bring this up, and actually, let's meet you over here where Dale talks about Restream.io, and this is gonna show you how to stream to 2 Facebook pages or Facebook groups at the same time. But more on some of this Streamlabs OBS and OBS Studio in a future video. I'll see you there.